the basics of interest rates, inflation. Like, we started off with the time value of money. That's the first lesson that we got, which is basically your dollar today is worth less than a dollar in the future. There was so much information because it covered all the essentials, from like the time value of money to stock evaluation to interest rates to investment options to bonds, government bonds. Your money today is worth more than it is in the future. You would not see people playing on their computer like video games or stuff. Maybe some people, but like the majority were not.
Get ready for the next iteration of you on your path to becoming wealthy. On this show, you'll get the insider's view on wealth creation, the class none of us got taught in school, with my co-host, daughter, and beginning investor, Sophia Bosch. And now, let's get started.
Welcome to the Becoming Wealthy podcast. I'm your host, Sophia Bosch, and I'm here with my co-host,
Michelle Bosch.
And today we are talking a little bit about my experience at Wharton School of Commerce, UPenn. I took a 2-week summer course in the essentials of finance. It was super rigorous. I was in there it was 60 hours of instruction for 2 weeks.
Wow.
And it came along with activities, case studies, real lectures with professors, a pitch, a buy, sell, hold pitch presentation at the end.
Wow.
So it was definitely
I got my money's worth.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That's wonderful. Now, were these assistant professors or
Oh yeah. So there were assistant or TAs.
that were teaching the classes, or were there actual professors teaching?
There were actual professors teaching the class. I'd say for the morning session, it was definitely the professors teaching the material that you would learn. Then in the afternoon, you would go into an activity with the same small group.
Okay.
That would then be your small group for the final presentation, that pitch. And then at the end is just reviewing that activity. Any other questions, material that's the TA.
Now, you said 60 hours basically of instruction.
sitting
How
in
does
class.
that compare to like a person in freshman year at the university in the semester taking finance courses?
So if you're a finance major freshman year or in any of the years, a semester has 42 hours of instruction. So in 2 weeks, I got 60 hours of instruction.
So how are you feeling, Sophia?
I was feeling fried, to be honest. Like, there was so much information because it covered all the essentials, from like the time value of money to stock evaluation to what else? Interest rates to investment options to bonds, government bonds, to yield curves, all the way also to looking at mortgages, looking at financial statements, looking at all the numbers, and basically telling the story from the numbers, like, how come you have depreciation one year?
No wonder, Sophia, when we picked you up from the airport, you sounded like an investment banker. That's amazing. We were like so blown away with that. And anyway, so tell me a little bit about your top 3 favorite topics. What were those?
So the very, very first topic that they told us about was the time value of money.
So what is that?
It's basically relating to inflation. Like, your money today is worth more than it is in the future. So instead of just saving your money in a bank account, how can you put that towards either putting it in an investment like a stock, or our family likes real estate.
Yeah.
Because your dollar today is worth more than in the future. So rather use it when it's worth more than wait until it's less valuable.
Yeah.
And in that process, because it's then in the asset, in the investment, it still holds that value. It will also
Produce
a return that ideally goes against that inflation, that devaluation of the money.
Yeah. And ideally a return that is higher than that.
Ideally, yeah. So you can beat the inflation and actually earn more.
Yeah. Make your money grow absolutely for you. So that was time value of money. Okay, great. What's another topic that you really enjoyed that perhaps surprised you?
I really liked, so we, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, it was like cross lectures with the entrepreneurship course and the leadership in the business world course also. So there were multiple other courses going along. I will say I talked to all people there. Finance was definitely the most rigorous, like intensive course. All like the entrepreneur kids were like playing with colors because they were learning about branding and stuff and playing games and stuff, and we're like learning about all these things and doing case studies that were like MBA level, like
It's wonderful. So
but
did you feel stretched a little?
yeah,
Oh, that's
there was a lot that went over my head, but there was a lot that also stuck.
Okay, good.
So but everyone else was just as confused as me, so that,
And when you're confused, what do we like to say? You're about to learn something.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but anyways, the business ethics class was a cross lecture with one of the professors there. It was a lady.
What did you enjoy about it?
She was able to express her opinion on business ethics while like it was almost got political, but she walks a I respected her because she walks with her opinion on a line that's like, I can see many perspectives. I have my opinion, but I can see many perspectives. She even publishes work going against her own opinion because she sees the value in that perspective, in that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So a part of it, so that whole business lecture,
That is a skill set that is
Yeah.
so needed in the world today.
and you could tell the caliber.
Yeah.
Anyways, the business ethics class, she was talking about where do you draw the line of what a business can decide and what it can't, depending on the U.S. Constitution laws. So in terms
What do you
of
mean can decide or can do, you mean?
can do, like in terms of discrimination,
Okay.
in terms of refusing service
Okay.
based on sexual orientation, gender, and other things.
Uh-huh.
So she brought up different examples of like this very Christian man in Colorado
Uh-huh.
refusing to sell a cake to a
So a bakery, you mean?
a bakery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, forgot to add that. A bakery refusing a cake for a gay wedding.
Uh-huh.
But they like, how do you know, like, if it's for a wedding or if it's not? Like, how do you draw that line? Because the gay guy could have gone in and said, I need a white cake with trim around, and like that's it, and he would have probably sold it without saying it's for a wedding. But because it's for a wedding, he was like, that goes against my moral beliefs of that marriage. So how can you tell? And she brought up different perspectives also within the Democrats and the Republicans. She highlighted very some contradictions between the two,
Okay.
and everyone was like, whoa, I
Well-
never thought of it that way.
But what, as far as the law goes,
As far
what
as
was acceptable and what was legal and what was not legal for him to do? Like, could he?
So that falls in a gray zone.
Okay.
That's the thing. It falls in the gray zone because of that ambiguity of like, if you wouldn't have known.
Okay. So did he end up refusing or not?
He ended up
Did
refusing.
he get fined or was there a lawsuit against?
It went to the Supreme Court
Oh wow.
all the way up. And they basically ruled that you cannot discriminate on the basis of sexual orientation. However, they also brought up examples of like a man, or actually Kim Kardashian.
Uh-huh.
She was creating a birthday cake that had the letters KKK on it.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, yeah, of course we'll provide that cake for you. But what happens when a member of the KKK walks in right afterwards and asks for the same cake, and they say no. That's the exact same product, but now you're discriminating against the person who is actually buying it.
Uh-huh.
So the whole
interesting.
premise about it was like she brought up like quite controversial
Yeah.
topics and none of us were expecting it. We're like, okay,
Was there a lot of
we'll go
discussion?
for it.
Was there a lot of
Yeah.
discussion back and forth?
100%. She was like, tell me all your opinions. Raise your hand. We'll call on as many of you. Debate me.
Okay, wonderful. I love that. Wow,
And
I'm impressed.
yeah. And so basically at the end her opinion was that you have control over the product, not who you're selling it to.
Okay.
So you can refuse to sell a product, just not who to the person.
To whom? Yeah.
To whom.
Yeah.
So that was very interesting to see all the different perspectives and hear from her how like even some examples with Hobby Lobby and stuff. When I believe during the Obama administration,
Mhm.
they require or they put some sort of like within the reproductive rights, like within the health
Okay.
category, like how businesses have to provide healthcare or some choose to provide healthcare for like
Their employees.
for their employees. They started requiring that healthcare includes like accessibility to abortions and certain things.
Uh-huh.
And Hobby Lobby, being very conservative, was like, no, this goes against our morals. We'll provide healthcare, just not that.
Uh-huh.
And that also went up. And she's like, she believes in she's pro-choice, not pro-life.
Mm-hmm.
But she published a piece that sides with Hobby Lobby because she finds
Mhm.
validity in
That
their
viewpoint, yeah.
viewpoint.
Yes.
So I was like, wow,
Yeah. Well, that's, that's not the norm.
that's not the
college
normal.
campuses.
Definitely not. I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's great. I'm very pleased to hear that, Sophia, because
Yeah.
otherwise I'd be thinking like, where is our tuition money going into?
Yeah.
A drain that of perhaps an environment that is going to indoctrinate you into not thinking for yourself and not thinking critically and not definitely seeing the perspective of two different people. And the whole point of helping right now restore, I think, this country is in our ability to be able to express the viewpoint, number one, and disagree courteously without resorting to any kind of violence. So,
it was very eye-opening, especially in that discussion. It was a big lecture hall, but she was debating every single one. But
amazing. That's awesome. Now, what else? What was another of your favorite either topics or lessons of things
I
you learned?
really liked the presentation at the end. Each group,
Tell me what was this presentation about? What were you presenting on?
each little group. So I said how in the afternoons you would get in your little groups.
Uh-huh.
The second week was basically focused on your pitch presentation. So each of us got assigned a
What were you
either a
what were you
Fortune
pitching on?
a Fortune 500 company or like a big just
So stock investing then.
stock investing.
Okay.
Or investing into those those specific company stocks. We had to, so my group was Nvidia.
Okay.
So we had to see how much of the market share they had, their projections, their current valuation, the valuation of the market in the next 5 years, which right now, if I want to say, they're at $250-ish billion.
Mm-hmm.
And they are basically 93% of the market share. They have the most market share. And
I thought they were like a 3 trillion capitalization
or well, they their product, right, it's projected to be in 5 years the market 1.3 trillion, actually.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's
But
what I
yeah,
read somewhere. I might be off in my
yeah,
numbers.
and
Don't quote me.
but we were looking at the products that they make, uh, which they design, like the big semiconductors for that base all the artificial intelligence, like codes and everything
But
in.
but with them not having competitive advantage or anymore because there was this other Chinese company that came up
There
with.
is that other Chinese company, however,
Uh-huh.
they have moved a lot, like so they design the semiconductors. The people that actually produces it is the Taiwan Semiconductor or something.
Okay.
But they just actually moved to the US.
Okay.
So now it's
They're
based in
manufacturing.
their manufacturing.
Mhm.
Also due to tariffs, things like that.
Mhm.
But actually Phoenix, they just built
Yeah.
a big factories. Taiwan Semiconductors just built big factories in Phoenix that are slowly starting to open up. So
maybe you should buy some land around the area.
yeah, for real. But anyways, so we had to look in the company culture, their sustainability goals, look into every single part, including the financials,
Uh-huh.
and basically based on all of those, is is the stock overvalued?
Okay.
One, and two, based on that, do you think we should buy, sell, or hold
Okay.
stocks? If you already have some stocks from Nvidia, should I buy more? Should I sell them? Or should I hold
Now
what I
talk
have?
about the dynamics of the team.
Oh, my team was great.
Who was in the team?
So I had one kid from New York, like Manhattan. One kid
Finance
from
bro then.
yeah, finance bro. I had one kid from he's from Peru,
Okay.
and then one girl from Colorado.
And can you tell me a little bit about the caliber of the people that were there, basically in your team or just the teams in general?
Oh, it was the people.
Ideally, you felt a little dumb.
I did feel a
Okay,
little
good.
That's
how
yeah.
you know you're in
But
the right place.
everyone else also felt a little bit dumb. But it depended on which area it was.
Okay.
But I for sure felt dumb. The types of people that were in there, it was very international. There were so many people from China, Japan, like Hong Kong, also from Latin America, like
Yeah.
South America, the US, Canada.
Pretty much international.
Yeah, very much so. But the types of people they were so smart. You could tell that they were quick to understand stuff, that they weren't scared of asking questions. They were very much there to learn.
Mhm.
With that being said, they also like are teenagers still, so we're having fun in the breaks, things like that. But let me tell you,
So what did you
these
guys?
types of people are not the types of people that I see in school. Like during, if you got maybe a little bit bored in class or something, you would not see people playing on their computer like video games or stuff. Maybe some people, but like the majority were not. They were either day trading, which was so common. I was like, whoa. They were like almost jumping out of their seats because they were losing money.
That's amazing. This is like 17 and 18
Yeah,
year old kids.
just no, 15, 16, 17.
Uh-huh.
Barely any 18-year-olds. And then some others were like, I know a couple of us, we were like scrolling on Zillow and stuff like that. There were other guys,
Or looking at Bitcoin.
yeah, looking at Bitcoin. Like, I sat a little bit in the back so I could see people's screens,
Uh-huh.
and they were like,
Wow.
yeah,
Pretty driven.
a lot of people there, and everyone that I met, I was like, it was of course like the small talk, but with 2 weeks, it's like a summer camp, and getting to know people, is
At
like
high
on
speed.
it's like on steroids. It's like very quick. You know each other and your life stories in like the first week max.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Um
So what did that mean for the group teamwork? Basically,
yeah,
how was that dynamic?
we all got close. The one from Peru, he had great music taste. We were always bumping music in our little like study room that we got put in. So it was a fun environment. We were always chatting, like getting to know each
Some Latin
other.
music. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And because the other guy, he plays baseball with a bunch all the Latins in New York. He
Oh,
knows all the music, so
I guess you guys had fun
yeah.
while preparing. So tell me about the skills that you feel you came out of from having to go through that teamwork and that pitch presentation.
Yeah. So
Because let me tell you, women, there's a stat somewhere that talks about basically women being like there's like this dismal percentage of like basically males that go and make a pitch presentation
Yeah.
and do a pitch and get funding and then and it's I'm gonna throw out like a number there, don't quote me, but it's like a huge disparity and like 80% of them get funding and like a single digit percentage for women get funding. So this skill set of going and presenting
Yeah.
and pitching to some to a panel of potential investors is something
was-
that I hope
Yeah.
you got a taste of and you continue to.
It was crazy too because they gave us a 10-minute time limit. We could not go over. They would stop us. So it was practicing it in the days leading up to it. It was also making sure it looks very professional, like the everything.
So you guys had to have
PowerPoint, presentable clothing. You also could like have fun with it.
and
So
basically you had to come up with the financials basically.
yeah, so financials. So actually no, we looked on Nvidia has to post it, their financial statements.
Okay.
Since they're a public company, we looked on those and then we used two different techniques to value like figure out if it's overvalued, undervalued, valued.
What were those techniques?
And uh, can't remember them off the top of my head, but I can tell you what we found out from them.
Okay.
We found out that both techniques, we found that the stock is overvalued.
Okay.
However, with that being said, with all our other research that we did, we still thought it was a buy because that AI market is just getting started. Companies are just starting to implement AI into their companies. So the more and more companies implemented, the more and more semiconductors they actually need.
Okay.
In this country in order to
Use
run all
potential
those.
goals and potential.
100%.
Yeah.
So I think it's very valuable. With that, also that growth to 1.2 like $1 trillion. 100%
Did you have
is a buy.
then did you have any objections either from the panel or from the students for your buy?
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me.
There was this one guy in the, of course, back row. And he's like, actually, I think all your analysis is wrong. I'm like, excuse you.
Okay, but he has his right to disagree.
Yeah.
Publicly.
But it threw us all off balance.
Okay. And how did you get back?
And I was like looking around, who's gonna answer the question? I'm like, who knows? Like no one's answering, so I take it up on myself to answer. And I was like, actually, it is possible that we made errors. We don't believe so. Like we don't believe we made any errors in our calculations, but
So
because
he was disputing a calculation.
a calculation, but also the fact that it's overvalued. Like, why would you invest in something that's overvalued? And so I had to reiterate the fact, what I just said right now, that the market is projected to grow. So many people are yet to implement that into their companies. So there is still so much more growth waiting to happen. And that's why it is a good buy, even if it's overvalued. And he shut right up.
Yeah, well, it kind of happens in real estate sometimes where, you can either buy at a discount and
Mhm.
sell for more, or you can buy at market price because you know that a new shopping mall is coming or a new
Yeah.
freeway is going to be coming, and you are basically counting on potential appreciation, and you're willing to hold basically
Mhm.
a piece of land or property, for a longer period of time. And so it would make sense. Another situation that where it makes sense is that there is such a thing as yield investors. For example, in the multifamily space, we can look for a property that has deferred maintenance, where market rents are low, and where we need to come in and basically do extensive renovations to bring market rents up. And basically, we're buying it at a discount, we're optimizing the property and bringing the value of the property up. But that is for us that we are willing to be value based investors, where we're basically working to force the appreciation of the asset. But there's also a situation where you're an investor and you're like, okay, I don't want to buy any class B or C, kind of buildings. I want to buy class A, brand spanking new, and I just want that thing to just, you know, give me a return and have my money basically
Without
exactly.
having to do a whole lot.
And I'm getting a yield that is higher than inflation ideally, and I'm happy, and I don't have any problems as far as like, you know, huge plumbing issues because the property is old, or roofing that needs to be repaired. And so for those investors, it makes sense.
Yeah.
That even though right now they're not buying at a discount because of the lack of brain damage that they're going to have with that property, they're willing to invest in it. So it's very comparable basically
Yeah.
to an Nvidia, where right now it might be, in your case, you guys came to the conclusion over value, but there's still room for growth. So,
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that comparison in both asset classes, that is possible, and it might still be a good investment.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on what kind of investor you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, tell me about the dorms, and then we can probably call it a day. How was that experience? Because this is giving you a taste of, potentially what residential life will be for you once you're outside of your PV home.
Yeah. So how the dorms were set up is that each room or each suite had 3 rooms, 2 singles, 1 double. I was in a double.
Uh-huh.
It had a cute little kitchen, like a bathroom, 2 sinks,
Uh-huh.
plus the kitchen sink, like a cute little couch sitting area, and it was nice. I liked my roommates.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't the greatest of friends with them,
Okay.
but I found my people that were roommates up on a different floor. But that whole living in dorm life, you knew everyone on your floor, you knew everyone on other floors because I was always up on.
And how were the dorms that you've been? Were they nice?
They were a little old.
Little Spartan, it looked like on the pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about the shower situation.
It was so gross. We had our own shower, but that was nasty.
Yeah.
It was so bad. It's I could live with it for 2 weeks, so that's fun. I actually ended up showering once in my friend's room upstairs. So
Was it that it wasn't clean before you guys got in there?
no, and there was like mold and like the grout and stuff. It was really nasty.
Okay.
But anyways, but the dorms, just in general, like the people, you got to know them very quickly. You were living with them, and all the people like that you would talk to, everyone had some sort of side hustle that they were running.
Wow.
One was doing like affiliate marketing, one was doing like marketing for like F1 and like Formula 1 and
Oh, wow.
internship, and also another one was doing um like working in the financial aspect and the marketing for like one of their local like state representatives,
Okay.
like
Interesting.
politics in their campaign and helping run their campaign. So I was like, it was a wide variety of
Yeah.
few, but they all had their thing that they loved. So
Now, for a kid that is looking to basically make the most of your summer before college applications, any
Oh, yeah.
pieces of advice that you would have? I mean, was this a good?
I think it was really good. It definitely helped me figure out that finance is something I want to do, either major or minor. Not sure yet. We'll find that out in college. But as of right now, major. But it's definitely something that helps you test out what you like if you really want to go down that route. So I say go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And more than anything, it was a competitive
Yeah, it was fun
program to get into. So
get into.
there's many programs in the summer that are kind of like pay to play, and basically admissions officers in college applications, they can see right through that. So
Yeah, this was a 20%.
yeah, so this is good that if anyone is looking for that,
And the quality of people too, like you get surrounded with like your people. At least they were my people. So like the people there are all like you have something in common, period.
yeah, that's
So
okay. Well, thank you for sharing with us your experience. I was, like I said, I was very pleased how you were talking to us when we picked you up at the airport. And I also was very happy that you found, 3 amazing girls that were your support system while you were over there.
talk to them every day.
Yeah. And you made long-term friendships. And if you are watching at home, you have a teenager or someone in high school, these summer programs, summer internships, summer research, very key, I would say, activities to engage in, to put into your activities list when you're applying for colleges. They actually really do seriously look at that closely. They want to know what you're doing in your free time, how you're spending your free time.
And if there's a supplement, like essay question too, that's your chance to talk straight to the admissions department and really show your voice in that.
What you're interested and you're passionate about. So with that, thank you so much for being with us. Of course, share with an important person in your life. Give us a 5-star rating, and we look forward to being on another episode of Becoming Wealthy. Thank you much.